And joining us now, Richard Dalton in London, former British ambassador to Libya and Iran and former consul general in Jerusalem. Richard, U.S. was reportedly warned of this attack, per Donald Trump's latest remarks. France was not. Where does this attack leave some of Israel's allies?
Floundering at present. The Israeli aggression is clearly illegal. Israel has not met the criteria in international law under which it would be entitled to conduct a preemptive attack. Iran hasn't the capability in the nuclear field to attack Israel. It has no intention of so doing. It was not necessary for Israel to use force, and Israel has not provided evidence that's credible that there's been a recent change in Iranian activity in a threatening direction. And finally, and most importantly, peaceful means of resolving the Iranian nuclear issue and United States and Israeli hostility to Iran have not been exhausted. US-led diplomacy is still underway. So if they are to be honest with the principles they uphold in other situations, European countries and the United Kingdom should be denouncing this behavior by Israel, which puts at risk wider implications for the Middle East and for the region as a whole.
Is there any diplomacy that can save us from the brink of a major escalation or possible regional war?
It depends on the degree of harm that Israel has inflicted on Iran and on Iran's decisions as to what to do next. Clearly, Iran hasn't yet mobilized any of its national power. It could retaliate against international oil trade. If there were any suspicion that United States military bases or personnel were assisting any aspect of Israeli operations over the next few days, then we should expect Iranian retaliation against United States bases, including those in neighboring Arab countries. But it appears that Israel has the strategic and tactical advantage at present, and it's too soon to call what will happen over the next few days.
How about nuclear talks that were scheduled between the U.S. and Iran? Can these nuclear talks be saved at all at this point? Where do they stand?
I think it's highly unlikely that Iran would participate while it is under attack. After all, that would be, to their way of thinking, to demonstrate craven weakness. And the Iranian government doesn't want to do that, partly because of the domestic situation in Iran, in which there are dissidents calling for this so-called window of opportunity to confront the regime and change the regime to be exploited. So one possibility is that Iran will call a definitive halt to diplomacy, and there will be calls for Iran to withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. And we must remember that the reason we're in this situation is that the United States, at Israeli behest, torpedoed an excellent nuclear agreement between the international community and Iran, under which Iran's nuclear program was monitored and limited to a greater extent than any other country's program has been subject to. And President Trump, in destroying that in 2017, did the rest of us, including the Europeans, a grave disservice. And it's time for some frank confrontation of the truths of the situation and of past history by all our countries.
So do you see this as an overall diplomatic failure? Could this all have been avoided?
Yes, this could all have been avoided if the program of action agreed in 2015 and implemented in 2016 had been sincerely carried through by European countries on the commercial and front and had not been destroyed by a deliberate act of international vandalism by the United States in 2017. Iran, as I said, has shown no willingness to develop offensive nuclear capability. If Israel has any evidence to the contrary, it should bring it forward now.